Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm your host, Doc Rodden, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-host Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Christopher G. Mohr, and myself will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory, sometimes, genre offerings. Tonight, we review Who Invited Them? Sometimes I think about that with Anyway, Who Invited Them? Streaming on Shudder. Let me introduce my co-host, even though I don't know why I did that, but hey. All right. A train wreck is a train wreck no matter what you do. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, introducing my co-host, Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Glad to be here. Glad you invited me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Way to say that my fumbling at the beginning. I appreciate that. Also joining us is Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead Girl. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm great. See, I never have any cool greetings or anything. So just pass me by and let's go to Christopher. I am well.
You're well. See ya. That's what it is. It's like, turn the page. All right. Also joining us is award-winning filmmaker Christopher G. Mohr. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm a little mad at you, Doc, because I told you about touching my vinyl, my Pac-Man Fever record, and my Friday 13th 3D record. I told
That's
you not
not
to
even
touch
open.
that. I'm very mad at
I
you.
know. Don't touch that vinyl.
Still in your
Don't touch the
plastic.
vinyl.
Don't touch the vinyl.
Don't touch the vinyl. All right. When you watch the movie, you'll know what we're talking about. And we hope
Yes.
you do.
Otherwise, you just think I'm a weird vinyl collector.
And that I like to touch vinyl, and it's not true. But anyway, we are going to review Who Invited Them, streaming on Shudder. We're going to start off giving our first impressions. That will be spoiler-free. And then we'll dive into the discussion. We'll get into the spoils, but they're kind of obvious. And then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score of 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And we hope you enjoy not only this review, but many others that we have on the site. And if you do, please hit the like, the subscribe, and the share with a friend buttons. It'll do wonders and will help us reach our goal of getting 5,000 subscribers. Yes.
Please.
Yes. And, of course, leave your comments down below. All right, let's take a look at the card and get things rolling. Who Invited Them? Available streaming on Shudder beginning September 1st, 2022. The year is going by fast. The director and writer is Duncan Birmingham. The cast includes Perry Mattfeld, Ryan Hansen, Timothy Granaderos, and Melissa Tang. The synopsis: Adam and Margo's housewarming party is a success. One couple linger after the other guests, revealing themselves to be wealthy neighbors. Linger after the other guests, revealing themselves to be other neighbors. It's all about how you say it. As one nightcap leads to another, Adam and Margo suspect their friends, their neighbors, are duplicitous strangers. I don't like this synopsis. I'm having such a hard time. All right. But I always do, so that's the fun of this, right? All right, let's get into our. I'll never be able to convince you of that. Anyway, let's get into the review. Let's get into our first impressions before I bury myself completely. Jeff Mohr, sir, what was your first impression of Who Invited Them?
I didn't like it.
You what?
I didn't like it. There's like 4 people on the screen for the entire movie, and I just hated every one of them.
Every one.
They're the kind of people. Every one of them was the kind of person, except for maybe the wife. Of the homeowners,
the Margo.
Yeah, except for maybe her, but yet even she got irritating at some point. So I just was like, I looked at that and I thought I would spend 5 minutes talking to these people. And then I had to spend an hour and a half watching them talk to other people. And I think there's kind of a reveal, and maybe you're supposed to see it, but I don't know. It was one of those things where as one line of dialogue comes out of the wealthy guy's mouth, and I go, oh, well, that's that.
Yep.
And so the whole rest of the movie, I'm just waiting for the people to catch up. I don't know. I just, it didn't, it's well made. It's well made.
We've heard that. We've heard that before.
So anyway, I didn't dig it.
Didn't like it. All right. Don't hold back, Jeff. Let us know. Christopher G. Mohr, what was your first impression of Who Invited Them?
This feels like an off Broadway play
You know, it does feel like a play
that they shot as a movie, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't mind it. I don't mind a film if it's very chatty. I like Tarantino films, but this just felt like a bunch of LA people making a movie, putting all their friends in it. It even had that kind of LA vibe about it. The kind of douchey characters you see in movies that are from LA, and this is what it felt like. And then and I from the get-go, I don't understand why you would even entertain these people in your house that you don't know. And then just the conversations just felt very manipulative and it just felt like more this is a way to forward the plot type stuff. And I didn't believe in these characters, and I didn't like I didn't like any of the characters. Maybe the wife character a little bit, but even that, it just felt very strained. The whole story felt very strained. And I saw the twist
writing on the wall
from the very beginning. I saw it, and then the ending tries to be this whole like, ooh, is it real? Is it not? And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act like this movie doesn't exist. That's my reveal. It's my big twist. I didn't believe in the dialogue coming out of the characters' mouths, and some of the acting really didn't deliver it well. And then there's even parts where they show partygoers talking. It just felt very forced and like, ooh, we're gonna give our friend a line in this movie. Yeah. I think I don't know, and it's just the whole side story with their friend and their hunter loving husband didn't make a lot of sense.
Oh my god!
It's very disjointed, and I think there's moments where it's trying to be more witty than it is. And this is. I want to get disinvited from this party.
You're going to leave the party early, aren't you?
I would. Yeah, I would love to have left this party early. So yeah, I like Jeff. I didn't like it.
All right, well, let's see if we can break this pattern here. Crystal, what was your first impression of Who Invited Them?
Well, Christopher is spot on with this whole. It feels like it was made by a bunch of LA people. And who was it made for? Well, let me give you a clue. Is that a mid-century modern? Well, it's a mid-century modern, but it's also a California ranch. Let me just give you a little heads up. No one outside of LA knows what the fuck that means. So there you go. Okay. Like, it's like, oh, okay. Is that supposed to be funny? Yes, I lived in LA, so I get it. I understand it. And I'm like, and I hate those people. And I can't tell if they're making fun of those people or not. And that's when it becomes a problem. Because if you're trying to make fun of it, that's one thing. And I can get behind that. But it didn't come across that way. It came across as, and let's be real. Someone gets a stitch on their face, and no one in LA would have such a bad stitch job. Never. I got a tiny cut on my hand when I was there, and they acted like it was like, oh my God, no, you have to go to the plastic surgeon or the scar is going to be so bad. So no one's going to have these stitches. Sorry, that super duper bothered me. So yeah, sorry. I just actually threw up on the film, and I don't mean to. But
you sure about that?
But that's some stuff that it's just, what are you doing? It's so inconsistent. And the woman driving around with her phone, but apparently can't find the house because I guess her GPS isn't working or something, was probably one of the stupidest things I've ever watched. And I was like, what is she doing? What is she actually doing? Like, what? I mean, where's the kid that I thought she was, for a minute there, I was like, is she taking the kid back home? What is going on here?
No, she
it
was
was
picking up the teddy bear or whatever, or his little stuffed animal.
Okay, I guess. But you don't call them to let them know you're coming to get it. It's just silly.
She tried to call.
They didn't have their phones.
But yet you just go out not knowing where you're going. I'll go all day. We'll go back and forth, play this ping pong, and I could like refute everything, because this film annoyed me. It flat out, the acting was hit or miss. Some of it was really good, and then I'm not going to name names, but one person in particular was just shockingly bad, and I don't understand like how this happened, what happened. I really, look, I understand people try to be nice, but there's also a point where even like the kindest people don't allow things to happen. And it just went way beyond that. And I just like, I mean, it was obvious. The moment someone said twins gross me out, you knew exactly where the movie was going. So, wow, this movie made me angry. And I didn't realize it until just now. So, yes, I guess I didn't like it.
You've been holding all that back. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
I didn't realize how much I disliked it.
Yeah.
Annoying is a
get that off
keyword.
Off your shoulders there. All right. Let's see if we have 4 Jeffs or if I'm going to change the tide. No, unfortunately, I didn't like this movie either. It just tries to be something. It wants to be something and it doesn't get there. It like you said, like the dialogue heavy Tarantino kind of. And I don't know if it's. I kind of hate saying that anymore. That anytime you get a lot of dialogue, it goes Tarantino. But that's what he's known for. But so it's mostly this really this heady kind of way of these one group of people trying to maneuver another group of people, and it's all through conversation and manipulation, trying to get under their skin or trying to get into their weaknesses. But it doesn't come across. It just doesn't quite reach where it's going. I mean, I know what this film wants to be. It really wants to be this really tense, like what are these two people up to that are in this house. But the family that owns the house are such bad characters. You don't care what the other, and it makes the other characters so much more. I want just get it over with and let's go follow you on another adventure, because this one's kind of done. I like the 2 characters.
Me too.
The twins, Sasha and Adam. They were more interesting than everything else in this movie. Agreed. Even the movie. And I've really, no, I'm not kidding. I wanted to be done with this and get on to another story. Can just make this like a 20-minute prelude and let's get on with it. Let's have the chase or something. Let's do something. This is not cool. This is dull. So I didn't like it.
Okay. Well, this is fun. This has been Gruesome Magazine. You have your time.
Well, it was annoying. And I think one of the things that it wasn't the amount of dialogue that bothered me. It was for instance, the lead male character, he was playing such a douche. I don't know if it was bad acting or he was just being such a douche that you were just wanted to like smack him.
Well, I think they were trying to make a point of that. I think that was supposed to be something they were trying to deliver, was that this guy was reaching beyond his means to keep up with the Joneses and being a very douche about it. And the fact that, Tang and Sasha were saying that they were these big to-dos next door, that he was, wooed into letting them stay. But just go on, Jeff. I'm sorry.
You said it better than I was going to say it. I don't know if it was bad acting or not. I just thought it was a completely unlikable character, and he made it. I think he was doing a good job of acting, because I did like him.
Yeah,
I don't think it
And-
had anything to do with that.
and he had what you said. He was trying to go move up to the next level and hobnob with people that he didn't have any idea how to act around, and was terrible at it.
And casting his wife aside to do it too.
Well, he's both a douche and a pussy at the same time.
No, I know
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
And actually, this film should have been called Douchey Husbands, because you have the other woman who husband one just watched hunting shows instead of going to get that
Right,
stuffed animal. But yeah, there's a douchiness of it, but at the same time, I didn't think the actor was good, so it didn't. To me, it just felt like dialogue somebody was saying as opposed to them acting it, you know. And because the dialogue was so douchey, it just made it even worse because somebody wasn't really delivering it. But yeah, and did I miss something? What was the cross? Was that supposed to be where those people died? Would they bury them there, or what was the cross?
Oh, I think that was just, I think that was about like the whole since they died there, they were just,
because I felt like there was going to be some bigger meaning to that. She kept running into the cross, and then they just did, other than just that the animal that her husband ran over. And again, there's things there that don't make a lot of sense. You have the whole, the kid's dreams are more entertaining than this whole film.
The kid was so
nightmare
cute.
dreams.
Okay, he was super cute. The little boy.
But what did he have to do with the story?
Nothing, but he was cute.
Everything, but his dreams are more, his 5-second dreams are more entertaining this whole entire movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I did like the flashback when he was like, maybe she killed him, or maybe he killed her, and they would show the same thing reversed.
Yeah.
I did like that.
He shot her.
That was funny. Oh wait, maybe
that's
it was like
that's where the
she,
but see, that's where the tone goes all over the place, where it's being serious one minute, it's trying to be jokey, and then it's supposed to be like supernatural. It's never figuring out what it's supposed to be, and it's just a big mess of a movie.
Well, and here's the main couple. It's like, okay, if you don't know that this couple's looking to swing, what the hell? Like, it's very common, and it's very obvious that they're being groomed for that. That's what I would have thought immediately. Now, granted, we do come to find out all the other stuff, but I'm like, do they not realize they're putting themselves like in this weird position? Maybe it's just me, but that was the first thing that would annoy me.
Yeah, so I don't think they did.
Well, I've had tons of couples. Like, you'd be shocked at how common swinging is. Like, it's very common.
But
so I'm going to defend.
You look like this, you don't. So,
well, I'm going to defend Ryan Hansen a little bit in that I don't think he's a bad actor, because I just noticed he had a part in this show my wife watches called A Million Little Things that started 2 or 3 seasons, and he does a good job in that. I
think the script is a
lot of times it has to do with the director, or it has something to do with the script, or it just has the people
you literally wouldn't recognize him,
and you see that sometimes with even the best actors. They work for somebody and they bring out the worst in them, or they don't do anything, and
maybe he felt uncomfortable on set. Like, who knows?
I don't know. It just felt like people were reading lines. Even the bad guy couple,
Tom and Sasha,
felt like they were trying to ham it up and thought they were, something better than what they were.
Especially the Tom character was really trying to be.
It felt like those characters you see like that show up on like Addams Family, like the couple. Hi, it just felt like characters of like people from LA. That's what it felt like. They didn't feel like real characters to me, and so I didn't believe anything that was happening. And because I guess I'm getting to this point where if everybody's unlikable, it's hard for me to enjoy.
You gotta like somebody, right?
And see, that's the key right there. That's the key. There is There's not
And
a
I
single
mean, there are a
likable
few
person.
times where you can watch stuff, but there has to be some compassion or something about it. But because I didn't believe these characters as characters,
Yeah. I think if
Yeah,
you
is that-
believe that they were, I think if you believed the characters that they were written and performed, that you wouldn't have to like them, right? Because you would enjoy the scenarios in which they're in.
Fair enough.
I don't think you have to have likable characters to have an enjoyable story.
oh no, no.
Well,
But-
I think you have to have a character though that you at least want to support.
Yes, that's
Because
true.
without
Which is
that,
different.
that's
Which is
what it
different than liking. You
It's
don't
different
necessarily
than
like them.
liking someone. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
mean, you know me. I love the show Hannibal, and you have characters that are unlikable because they're
but you
have ill will.
you're
They
Right.
like,
want to
yeah.
cause ill will towards other people, but I enjoy
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
more than that. It's that they were annoying. That's
Yeah,
what they
annoying
were.
as well.
Well,
Yes.
Annoying
That's
goes
my
a
trigger
different
button
way.
for me.
Yes,
If they're
that's
just
what it-
uber
this-
annoying, or they just or they write dialogue that feels like it's trying to be like
You go.
so
Yeah.
LA-ish, or just it just feels
Yes.
like somebody's writing something that feels so tropish, and
Yeah.
that's what parts of it feel like.
And I felt like I was waiting 30 minutes for something to happen.
Yeah,
me too.
yeah. To where
Mhm.
I wouldn't even call this a thriller.
Oh, well,
It's
not
just-
until the
it's
final
just-
act, right?
Yeah, it's just like really bad conversations with annoying people.
And then the finale of the neighbor's house was so oddly edited
It's
together.
very oddly staged.
Yeah.
Again, it just felt like maybe this would work better as a stage play. Maybe they should put this off Broadway or do something with it. I think it could work better as a stage play, but as a movie, it just feels very forced in a lot of things it's trying to do, and it doesn't work well on any level or facet for me.
Yeah.
in
No,
my
I
opinion.
don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts, our score, 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. We'll find them. We will dig deep for these favorite scenes. Jeff Mohr, sir, you are up first.
Oh, it's Jeff. Yeah, it is Jeff.
Yeah, so I
It is.
you know,
Look at him.
I could have missed this one.
Oh, that bad. Oh,
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, again, I'll always say they made a movie. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't. It personally, I found it very annoying, and is not the kind of movie I enjoy watching. So, again, I thought you could see the reveal right away. Maybe we were supposed to. I don't know. It was.
it didn't add any tension if they did. And
No.
And then, well, the whole thing on the wall was a good way to do it, but really that wall there, that's where they're going to do it back in the, that didn't make
Yeah.
sense. The location.
So
didn't make sense.
my favorite scene is going to be when the woman who can't find her way back to their house driving her Prius with the GPS, then gets attacked by them. But then, well, my scene is when she shoots the lead character. I just thought,
Yeah.
I was laughing my ass off. I think it was supposed to be ironic or something, but it wasn't. I just was like, oh my God.
What's
I can tell
ironic
it's
is
gonna
someone in a Prius would have a hunting rifle in their vehicle. That's ironic.
Oh, and it was a rifle with a scope. Anyway. Oh, score.
I'm with
I gotta
you,
give a
Jeff.
score.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
go 2.25.
Oh, higher than I thought. Actually.
Oh.
Well, it's well made.
There
It's
you go.
just
Yeah, I
it's
agree
not
with you.
bad.
I'm surprised you went that low, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Proud of you.
Wow. All right. Christopher G. Mohr, you're up next. Your final thoughts, your score, your favorite scene.
I think this film created a new genre. It's called smug.
Smug.
Uh,
Smug horror.
uh,
It's
it's a very smug film in its creation and everything that went into it. And I, again, as a filmmaker, I give you props. You made a feature film, but I didn't like it, and it's not my cup of tea. It's not my old fashioned Hey, try the old fashioned.
Ah,
Try the old fashions. Hey, you like try my old fashioned? No, thank you.
And maybe that's the point, because I've never had an old fashioned.
Oh,
Really?
I've had
Oh,
one,
that's interesting.
but this is not my old fashioned. Yeah. I don't have a lot of good things to say about it, so I'm gonna shut up.
No.
It's yeah. This has a lot of things I don't like. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a
Raspberry.
I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
Oh.
Ooh,
I don't-
shnikes.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of hard pressed to find a good. You know what?
You dare say
The kid's nightmare scene,
There you go.
Yeah.
because it doesn't involve
Yeah.
any of the other characters. He's the now. If the kid had been part of this whole scenario, maybe it might have been a more interesting film if he was in peril, or maybe he home aloned it. Ended up killing him. That would have.
Oh my God, that would have been.
Yeah. Who invited the Home Alone kid?
That's
That would have been
hilarious.
better. But yeah, that's probably my, because then that set up something that the movie could not fulfill with him. And who has see-through doors at the top?
Oh, yeah.
Stairs.
At least it was frosted glass, but still, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It was,
Dad-
yeah. Not
Mom,
to your bedroom.
Daddy, Mom. I'm gonna. Yeah. So that's probably my favorite scene, because it doesn't involve any other people.
There you go. Crystal, what's your final thoughts, your score, your favorite scene? Who invited them?
So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there who are like, this is a great home invasion movie. So I'm happy for those people that find this home invasion movie thrilling. Good for them. I unfortunately agree. I did not. Now, when a movie is competently made, I usually give it a 2.5. However, this movie pissed me off. And when they piss me off or make me angry, that changes. I mean, I'm like 2.5. That's average, like you did well on this and what. But let's just put it this way. It even has like the worst opening credits I have seen in a hot minute. Like it's got horrible shots. I was like, what kind of shots are these? Come on. So I'm going to give this a 2. And that's being kind, because I want to go lower, but I'm like, I want to give some of the actors credit. I want to still but God, ugh, I don't recommend watching it. My favorite scene. My favorite scene. Okay. Okay. It was actually a decent acted scene. But it also made me laugh, because I was like, really? And it's like, it's not scratching. It's not scratching. Oh God, Lord God, Jesus, save me. Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah, that not scratching.
Yes, and she was totally ignoring him. I loved it.
It's not scratching. It's not scratching. I was like, and then I'm like,
Skipping.
okay.
Yeah, that's I
Skipping,
couldn't figure out what you meant.
Skipping,
Yeah,
whatever.
skipping,
It's
yeah.
not skipping. My bad. Like,
I'm sorry.
that's how much
I
I
just-
cared. No. Please correct me. Please. I mean that. Actually, I totally mean that.
Yeah, I'm not too far away from you guys on this. I mean, I like Perry Mattfeld, so I would watch it regardless because of her. Like I said, I like the bad guys in this movie, the antagonists.
Is that the blonde girl? Is that the blonde girl, the one you're talking about? Oh, I liked her too. I liked her.
Yeah, she was,
Yeah.
And I liked them, and I liked how aloof they were, but I didn't like the couple that owned the house at all, and I just couldn't. I like I said earlier, I just get these two out of the way and go find somebody more interesting to terrorize. And I guess I guess there is a fear out there of people just won't leave your house, right? I don't think it's is that a common fear? I mean, I imagine it's out there, right? And people won't leave. Maybe that's an LA thing. I don't know.
I just don't know how you could have a party and have people that you don't know in your house, but that's cool.
Given these two,
Yeah,
I was surprised
you
they
do-
knew that many people.
You do have people that crash parties, so I guess
Yeah.
that's understandable.
Yeah, and then, so this movie just didn't connect on a whole different ways, and once they had that conversation about the history of the house, it was kind of obvious where it was going. The reveal to the wife, who I guess arguably didn't know that much of the history, made sense, but not where it was. I mean, if you're going to have height things, they're not going to be in the back of a closet. It's going to be. So I was a little I was calling BS on that out loud, but it kind of, I mean, even at the end when it was supposed to really ramp up and get kind of, the film that we wanted, it didn't really succeed. It felt goofy and silly, didn't it? When they were in the neighbor's house, it didn't feel menacing or terrorizing at all. It felt silly. And I was
cabbage or rutabaga.
That whole thing was weird. And I don't know. So I think I'm going to have to go with a 2 as well, as much as I hate to do it, but I think that's appropriate for this one, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. So my favorite scene is going to be, and I'm digging, I'm looking, I'm trying to find one. Could it be the punching scene? It was just so weird and awkward, because I wanted her to punch him so bad. And she did. So I was happy about that. It's like, you can punch him again. Go ahead. And then he punched.
He tries to punch her in the face.
Punch her face into the wall and stuff. So, I mean, I kind of like that that was an example of the manipulation the antagonists were trying to go for, right? And they achieved it here. And it was weird. I don't know if it was successful, but I did like that she punched him. She could have punched him more times. Because I wanted to punch him. I did. I would have punched him.
God, that scene where she's having to like treat his wounds is the most annoying scene ever, where he's whining like a 5-year-old. It's like, oh my God, why are you married to this piece of shit?
Douche. Yeah,
I think it's a point, but when they're that douchey, it tears all the tension out from under them, right? Because you don't care that the characters are in trouble, and that if it's supposed to be a suspense or tension thriller, where if you don't care about the characters that are in peril, then it can't work. It just can't work, and that's where I think where this one suffers the most.
Let's should call it the douchey strangers.
Well, the strangers aren't douchey, but
that would be fun. Actually, you're right.
Oh yeah, well they
they
kind of were,
too, yeah.
All right, well there you go. That's our review for Who Invited Them. It's streaming now on Shudder. So if you want to take a look at that film, watch it, and then let us know what we got wrong or right.
I'm sure there'll be plenty.
I feel like
well, maybe there's people in LA like, oh man, they get us.
There might be something like that.
I kind of did feel like it. Yeah.
Maybe, we're not the right audience. I don't know. All right. Well, there you go. Christopher, Crystal, Jeff, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us at the party.
Yes, I'm glad I invited you, actually. All right, let's say good night.
Good night.
Good night. Pac-Man Fever.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.